Welcome, 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 Mustangs, to Vocabulary Lesson 2 for Elie Wiesel's Memoir Night. Today we are going to be studying terms from chapters 4 through 6. There's not a ton of them, so we'll just add this to the pile, and when we assess these, they'll be with our chapters 1 through 3 terms as well. So we've got 6 terms today. Remember, we are just listening closely to learn here. We're not putting anything in notebooks necessarily unless you so choose. Instead, this is attached to a formative activity, not a formative grade necessarily, but a one on the app formative. And we will use that to power our learning of vocabulary and the quizzes that go with it. So we begin with a set of 3. There are 6 total terms, like I said. We start with the adjective, cynical, meaning this is going to modify a noun, so a person can be cynical. So we have an image here, someone who seems to be pledging or promising with one hand, but holding their other hand, crossed fingers behind their backs. I wonder if we can trust this person. So, after years of broken promises from politicians, Marcus grew cynical, assuming that every new campaign speech was just another lie meant to win votes. Okay, so in this image here, it's not necessarily this politician who is cynical, but it is a politician who might act like this, breaking their promises, just saying things to get elected, that has led Marcus to grow cynical. So what could cynical mean if being lied to and losing trust in people? What does that possibly mean? Well, if you had believing that people only act out of selfish motives kind of clinking around in your head, then you're on the right track. So cynical is an adjective, usually describing people, and it describes them as believing that people only act out of selfish motives. Next word is resilient. This is one that might be already in some of your vocabularies, but we make sure to get everyone involved, so just in case. It is an adjective, usually describing people, but mostly just, it could describe non-living items as well. I suppose a car could be resilient if it goes through a lot. We have an image here, a guy who's toughing out a construction job. Looks like he's hanging in there despite moving some heavy stuff around. And we have an image, or I'm sorry, our sentence here. Even after losing her home in the storm, Lila remained resilient, quickly finding a place to stay and starting with the rebuilding process with determination. Here we got some key words here. Lila is facing some adversity, but in the face of that adversity, she quickly found a place and started rebuilding. She was determined. So if someone were toughing out a difficult time, keeping their chin up, staying positive and proactive, they might be resilient. And by official definition, resilient means able to recover or stay strong in difficult situations. Sometimes my students require me to be resilient. Teacher humor. Okay, so next we have a noun, anguish. So a noun means it's a person, place, thing, or idea. It's not modifying a noun. Anguish is something you have or go through. We have an image here. Oh, this guy looks like he's going through it a little bit. Tough. Our sentence reads, he cried out in anguish when he heard the heartbreaking news, clutching his chest as tears streamed down his face. All right, well, this person's obviously going through some emotional turmoil, so if we consider then what that could possibly be, or how that could possibly help us understand anguish, let's take a look at our actual definition here. Severe mental or emotional suffering is what anguish is. Okay, so you can see someone crying out, tears streaming down his face, clutching his chest, his broken heart. We see this guy here who really reinforces that idea of anguish, and there you have anguish as our word. So 3 down, 3 to go. Our next word is a noun again, so person, place, thing, or idea, not a modifier. It is defiance. Defiance. It is the noun form of the verb to defy. Here we have an image of a student saying things under his breath, right? I get a lot of this whenever I make people sit in their proper spots and all that stuff. Worst teacher ever. He hates me. Blah. With arms crossed and chin raised in defiance, the student refused to follow the unfair rule despite the teacher's warning. So this is actually kind of cool. Defiance, in our very disciplined world, we can view defiance as a pretty much automatically bad thing, but it's not necessarily. Sometimes you are defiant against those who are committing injustices. Elie Wiesel and his father and his peers, his Jewish peers in the concentration camp, did have moments of defiance, if nothing else than just in their survival. So to defy does not necessarily mean a bad thing to do. It can be, right? You can defy the wishes of your parents and make poor choices, but you can also defy those who are committing injustices. And by definition, that means open resistance or refusal to obey. So you are defying against some sort of authority. Our next word is a noun. It is exertion. Okay. We have an image. Oh, we have seemingly a marathon runner here who is tuckered out. I'm so tired. Right? That's like me after climbing one flight of stairs, not a marathon. Breathing heavily from the intense exertion. The runner collapsed onto the grass after finishing the marathon. Okay, very cool. So we have our image, we have our sentence suggesting that, this person just ran a marathon, they collapsed into the grass, they were breathing heavily. Exertion with all those context clues sounds an awful lot like great physical or mental effort. So through that exertion, that great physical and or mental effort, it leads one to being super tired, collapsing onto the grass, etc., etc. Okay, last word is a noun, obligation. Obligation. Okay, we have, interesting, a picture here of a big sister helping a little brother with homework, it looks like. In this case, the image really goes with the sentence. It's kind of hard to visualize obligation. Even though she was tired, Jenna felt a strong obligation to help her younger brother with his homework because she had promised to do so. So let's look at our context clues. Even though she was tired, so she had reason to not do this, she felt duty-bound to her brother. She felt obligated to him because she had promised to do this. So an obligation is a duty or responsibility. It's something you've committed to, perhaps a promise. When my daughter is too tired to go to soccer practice, I say, you made a commitment. It is your obligation to show up for your team. Right? Same deal. All right, friends, that's our set of 6 terms. It's now your time to complete the connected vocabulary exercise. And don't forget, before quiz time rolls around, you also have your vocabulary gym kit on Google Classroom that will help you practice all the words from our study here. So this lesson 2 and lesson 1, which will both be on the quiz coming up here soon. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.